Imagine standing in the hallowed silence of Arlington National Cemetery. White headstones stretch as far as the eye can see, each marking a life cut short in the name of the nation. It's Memorial Day, a moment for collective grief, gratitude, and remembrance. But suddenly, solemnity fractures. The air hums with not just tribute, but controversy. This year, Memorial Day felt different. President Donald Trump stood before the tomb of the unknown soldier, a landmark dedicated to the valor and sacrifice of unnamed heroes. Yet amid his tributes, he pivoted sharply, launching barbs at political opponents, boasting of upcoming national celebrations, and tying his own legacy to that of America's fallen warriors. Instantly, social media, cable news, and dinner tables across the country lit up. Was this genuine honor, or something else entirely? Is Memorial Day transforming from a day of unity into a new front in America's political wars? Today, we're diving into how Memorial Day, once a sacred observance, became a battleground for American identity, politics, and power. And more urgently, what does that mean for the millions who carry the weight of real loss? Before dissecting this controversy, let's rewind. How did Memorial Day begin, and why has it always carried such emotional force for Americans? The roots of Memorial Day trace back over 150 years, to the bloody aftermath of the Civil War in 1865. Amid a fractured nation, with more than 600,000 dead, communities north and south searched for solace. One of the earliest recorded ceremonies took place in Charleston, South Carolina, where formerly enslaved black residents organized a parade and decorated the graves of over 250 Union soldiers, buried anonymously at a former racetrack. This act of remembrance was known as Decoration Day. For decades, towns and cities across America honored the war dead in their own way. It wasn't until 1968 that Congress made Memorial Day a federal holiday, fixing it as the last Monday in May. In that moment, the nation sought to unify, through shared grief, through ritual, flying the flag at half-mast, observing a moment of silence at 3 p.m., laying a wreath at Arlington. In theory, these customs belong to all Americans, regardless of politics. Yet even as traditions solidified, the meaning of Memorial Day evolved. After the wars in Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan, the holiday expanded to commemorate not just Civil War dead, but all Americans lost in military conflict. Each new generation brought new grief, new stories, and, crucially, new political meanings. Why does Memorial Day resonate so deeply? According to Dr. Leo Jenkins, a veteran affairs analyst, Memorial Day speeches often serve as a platform for presidents to connect with military families, but also risk politicization. The emotional terrain is vast. No other American holiday evokes such a blend of pride, sorrow, and unresolved questions about war, sacrifice, and national purpose. Through every era, presidents have shaped Memorial Day's tone. George W. Bush's 2002 speech in Normandy, just months after 9/11, still echoes. The day will come when no one is left who knew them, when no visitor to this cemetery can stand before a grave remembering a face and a voice. The day will never come when America forgets them. Decades earlier, General Lucian Truscott, standing at Italy's war graves in 1945, did something extraordinary. He turned his back on the audience, faced the tombstones, and addressed the fallen themselves. Apologizing for their deaths, he confessed that leaders know in their hearts they share the blame for every lost soldier. It was raw, vulnerable, and rare. Yet in recent years, Memorial Day has begun to serve a different function. It's not just about remembering the dead. Increasingly, it's a canvas for power struggles, through speeches, social media posts, and the spectacle of national ceremonies. And rarely has that tension been more visible than during this year's address. Picture 2025. President Trump, flanked by Vice President J.D. Vance and military leaders, delivers his Memorial Day speech at Arlington. His words oscillate between solemn tribute, honoring lost warriors like Navy Senior Chief Petty Officer Shannon Kent, whose young children watch from the crowd, and fierce political messaging. He laments 4 years of national decline, blames rivals for border chaos, and intertwines the Army's 250th birthday with his own upcoming 79th. "We're fixing this country," he proclaims, "and nobody is going to stop us." Earlier that morning, Trump's Truth Social post erupts online, denouncing political opponents as scum and federal judges as monsters. These are words rarely heard on a day meant for national unity. Kelly O'Donnell from NBC News observes, Trump has previously drawn criticism for inserting political messages into traditionally apolitical occasions. The backlash is immediate. Some see bold honesty, others, a breach of hallowed ground. Social media splits, hashtags trend, opinions harden. The old unity of Memorial Day feels more fragile than ever. But is this really new? As Dr. Beth Daly, a political scientist, points out, the politicization of Memorial Day can be divisive, undermining the holiday's unifying purpose. Since the turn of the 21st century, the temptation for presidents to imprint their own narrative on national ceremonies has only grown. These events are broadcast live, parsed for meaning, and weaponized in campaign ads. The spectacle is no accident, it's strategy. Ruth Ben-Ghiat, historian and author, notes, Trump's Memorial Day behavior offers insight into his campaign strategy, mixing solemn tradition with aggressive messaging. It's not just about speeches. America's remembrance rituals come with real-world stakes. The National Cemetery Administration maintains 155 national cemeteries on a $400 million budget, conducting dozens of military funerals every weekday. That's not just symbolic, it's logistics, bureaucracy, and taxpayer money in service of solemnity. Meanwhile, the veteran population itself is changing. In 2024, military deaths fell to a historic low, just 27 lives lost. But more than 1 million disability claims flooded the Veterans Administration in the same year. Women now make up over 10% of veterans, triple the share from 1980. Demand for mental health services among veterans jumped by 20% in just the last year. These trends remind us, true remembrance isn't just about ritual, it's about support. General Mark Milley, rhetoric, insists, it is crucial to honor the sacrifices of our service members through tangible support and resources. Senator Tammy Duckworth echoes him. We must ensure that veterans receive the care and benefits they have earned through their service. To many advocates, Memorial Day should spark not just memory, but action, a call to address the quiet, grinding struggles that persist long after the last shot is fired. Iraq and Afghanistan. Veterans of America founder Paul Rieckhoff says, Memorial Day should be a call to action to address the challenges facing veterans today. This year, the federal government responded with a new law, expanded educational benefits for children of the fallen. Meanwhile, advances in technology, including AI-powered search and rescue drones, promise to transform how soldiers are protected and remembered in the future. But even as technology offers hope, it raises unsettling questions. Will AI-generated memorial tributes cheapen grief or offer healing personalization? Can virtual ceremonies replace the deep communal ache of standing at a graveside? The ethics are uncharted, emotionally charged, and deeply personal. All the while, the debate over Memorial Day's meaning only intensifies. Some argue that using national ceremonies for political gain is inevitable in an age of media saturation and hyperpartisanship. Others warn that the cost is too high, a divided country, and a holiday that no longer binds Americans together through shared mourning. Vice President J.D. Vance's words linger. The best way to honor our fallen is to only ask the next generation to make the ultimate sacrifice when they absolutely must. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth adds, the duty we owe these men is peace, which can only be achieved through strength. But does the new politics of Memorial Day actually help veterans, or does it just deepen national divides? As awareness of the holiday's overlooked origins spreads, and as tech redefines remembrance, will we heal old wounds or open new ones? Right now, one question looms. Is America on the verge of losing the unifying heart of Memorial Day altogether? Or will the backlash to its politicization spark a new movement to reclaim genuine remembrance? The answer may determine not just the future of a single holiday, but the soul of a nation itself. As America stands at the crossroads of tradition and transformation, Memorial Day's future is being shaped in real time by every speech, every innovation, and every act of remembrance. The division evident in recent presidential addresses is not just about political personalities. It signals a deeper tug-of-war over national identity, memory, and unity. Imagine, just a few years from now, technology allows families to create virtual, interactive memorials for lost loved ones, accessible from anywhere in the world. AI-generated voices can recite a soldier's story in the exact words of a parent or sibling. There's talk of a virtual reality recreation of Arlington's hallowed grounds, where visitors from Alaska to Puerto Rico can walk the rows, pausing over digital biographies, letters home, and recorded tributes. On paper, this sounds like a way to bridge distance and time, a modern solution for a scattered nation. But with these opportunities come risks. Who controls these digital memories? If AI starts crafting personalized speeches or tailoring memorial content to fit different political agendas, does it dilute the authenticity of shared grief? Dr. Beth Daly, a leading political scientist, warns, the politicization of Memorial Day can be divisive, undermining the holiday's unifying purpose. It's possible to imagine parallel Memorial Days, one event lauded as patriotic spectacle, another as a quiet, apolitical moment of reflection. Instead of drawing Americans together, the holiday could become yet another front in the nation's ongoing culture wars. Yet there are signs of hope. The 2025 study pointing to a 15% increase in veteran volunteerism since 2020 shows that, at the grassroots level, Americans are still finding meaning in service and remembrance. Veteran unemployment is at a historic low, just 2.4%, and a new generation of women veterans is reshaping the face of military service and sacrifice. As Senator Tammy Duckworth, a combat veteran herself, puts it, we must ensure that veterans receive the care and benefits they have earned through their service. This push for tangible support hints at a possible shift, away from grandstanding at the podium toward quiet collective action. But what about the most vulnerable, those left behind? Demand for mental health services among veterans jumped by 20% just this past year. The VA is processing record numbers of disability claims, while lawmakers have finally expanded educational benefits for the children of the fallen. The message here? Real remembrance isn't a once-a-year display. As Paul Rieckhoff of Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America puts it, Memorial Day should be a call to action to address the challenges facing veterans today. What does this all mean for you, watching at home, perhaps gathered with family or scrolling through social media as flags fly at half-staff? It means you're not just a bystander. Memorial Day's true power lies in individual acts, not just mass spectacle. Here's how you can reclaim its meaning. First, seek out the real stories behind the ceremony. Every name etched on white marble or posted on a digital wall is a life, a family, a universe of memories. Many local libraries and veteran groups now host gatherings where you can listen to or read first-hand accounts. Even pausing for the national moment of silence at 3 p.m., just 60 seconds, can be a radical act of communal remembrance in a hyper-distracted world. Second, support organizations that put remembrance into practice year-round. This could mean volunteering with groups that assist veterans transitioning to civilian life, donating to funds that provide mental health services, or simply checking in on a neighbor who wears old dog tags. The 2025 spike in volunteerism didn't come from government decrees. It came from people like you deciding to act. Third, be mindful of how you engage with political narratives around Memorial Day. When you hear a public official invoke the sacrifice of service members, ask, what concrete steps are being taken for those who served and their families? General Mark Milley reminds us, it is crucial to honor the sacrifices of our service members through tangible support and resources. Demand substance over symbolism. And finally, embrace the complexity of Memorial Day's history. Its roots are deeper and more diverse than most textbooks suggest. Few realize that what may have been the very first Memorial Day took place in Charleston, South Carolina, in 1865, when formerly enslaved Black Americans honored fallen Union soldiers by decorating their graves and holding a parade of gratitude and hope. This hidden lineage is a reminder. Remembrance has always been an act of healing, of reclaiming unity from the ashes of division. The question we set out to answer, has Memorial Day's unity been lost to political division, or can it be reclaimed, does not have an easy, permanent solution. America is a nation built on debate, on clashing ideals as well as shared values. The spectacle of competing speeches, the annual swirl of media commentary, and the ever-present digital noise are unlikely to disappear. But unity was never supposed to mean sameness. True national unity, the kind Memorial Day once fostered and can still inspire, is forged through remembrance that balances grief with gratitude, history with hope, and, crucially, action with reflection. If you take nothing else from this exploration, let it be this. Memorial Day's promise is renewed in millions of small, personal moments, in the hush after taps fades, in the stories handed down at kitchen tables, in the resolve to serve and support, not just celebrate. As Vice President J.D. Vance said in his address, the best way to honor our fallen is to only ask the next generation to make the ultimate sacrifice when they absolutely must. That's a challenge to each of us, not just to remember, but to shape the future our fallen deserve. As we close, here's a secret fact that few know. Arlington National Cemetery doesn't just serve as the final resting place for over 400,000 service members. Its grounds are home to more than 33 different tree species, each one carefully mapped and cataloged. Botanists have discovered that decades-old oaks, planted during the cemetery's founding, now provide habitats for dozens of bird species. The living, growing beauty of Arlington's landscape is, in its own way, a fitting tribute, the intertwining of memory and renewal, roots and sky, sorrow and peace. So this Memorial Day, and every day, ask yourself, how will I remember? How will I act? The future of remembrance isn't set by politicians or ceremonies. It starts with us, wherever we stand. If you found value in this story, share it, discuss it, and above all, make your own moment of remembrance matter. Subscribe for more in-depth